Hello Nordangia students and welcome to tutorial 1 on programming using Scratch. And in today's tutorial we're going to explore the Scratch 3.0 interface and understand how to apply motion and costume changing blocks to moving and animating sprites. So let's have a look at Scratch, and I've got my screen already open. Let's have a look at what these do. On the left, we can see our blocks, and to bring them onto our programming screen so they're working, we just drag and drop things onto here, or we can drag and drop them off so we remove them. So the first one is our motion, which are move blocks. So this is about moving forward, gliding, etc., or moving to a position. We have looks, which change the way the background or the sprite looks, perhaps in terms of speaking as well, or perhaps the costume may be different. We have sound, which of course the sprite can make sound. Events, which is all about controlling things that happen on the screen. So for example, if I press a keyboard button, then it will do something. If I press the space bar, maybe a missile gets fired. If I press the up arrow, it moves up. Control is all about loops and conditionals. We have sensing, so if the sprite touches another sprite, then something happens. We have operators, which is all about using logical and comparative operators there. We have variables, which can be used for scores, for example. And more of these will become later as we go through. On the center is where we drag all our blocks into the screen. I've currently selected my my cat sprite here, and if I go to the costume, I can see the cat here, and I can of course change the color what I see on here. So I can add maybe a purple head, for example, on here. And if I want to add new costumes to this sprite, I can just click the costume button down here. On the right, this is what you see on the screen. And you see all your sprites in the library down here. And you can add new ones over here. So for example, I can upload one I've saved. I can have a random one. I can paint a new one, or I can find one from the library. So if I click, I can find one from the library like so. I can change the size. I can change the position. So I can move the position on there, or I could just type the numbers in like so. I can say what direction I want it to face, like so. I can just change the direction. I can say invisible or visible. So I'm going to say invisible for this one. I don't want it to appear. And if I don't want it, just press delete. And I can even add backgrounds on here. So let's have a background, our beach Malibu, like so. So let's make our cat move. So if I go to events, for example, I can then go to when space is pressed. I can then change these to the different up, down, left, and right buttons. So this time when I press up, I want it to go up. When I press right, I want it to go right. And then I can go to the motion, and sometimes I want to use move, which just moves 10 steps, which will move 10 steps to the right. And if I do minus 10 step, then it will move 10 steps to the left. But a better way is actually using the change X button, like so, or which is X is going from left to right, or Y, which is going up or down. So I'm going to use X over here. So X10 will go to the right, and of course X minus 10 will go to the left. So if I press left, it goes to the left, and if I press right, it goes to the right. And same again, if I put up here, and if I put up 10, it'll move up. If I press down, it still moves up because I need to change this minus. So that's move. That's me moving this around the screen with the up, down, left, and right buttons. So what about move? It doesn't look like it's doing anything. And if I look at costume, I've got some costumes here. I can then go to looks and I can say next costume. And this will go between each costume. So if I drag these in here, it will change the costume. So if I press play now and go left, it looks like it's walking as I move in the Scratch character. Okay, so let's have a look at your challenge. In this challenge, you're going to learn how to move Scratch beat 'em up style. So let's have a quick look at my example I've got. So on here, I've got Scratch, and if I press the left arrow, it goes back and it's animated. The costume is changing. If I press the right arrow, it's animated as it walks to the right of the screen. But if I press the up arrow, it will go up. But as it gets up, there's an illusion Scratch is getting further away from us because it's getting smaller. And if I press the down button, we've got the illusion that as he gets closer to us, basically going down, he's getting bigger, he's getting closer to us. And where I want the more advanced part is if I get up so high, it will stop and I can't go further. So let me have a look back at the challenge again. And here's what I want you to do to complete that challenge. 1, add a backdrop with a pavement or road that Scratch can walk along. 2, get Scratch moving to move up and down the screen using the arrow keys as well as left and right. Shrink and grow, so you've got the illusion that when you press the up arrow, he's moving away from you, and so he gets smaller. When you press the down arrow, you've got the illusion of him getting closer to you, so he's getting bigger. So you're going to have to change the costume size. And finally, stop Scratch going too far up and down the screen. So you're going to have to use the blocks on the right here. Good luck, North Anglian students. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.